The newest addition in Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak Lunagaron, the Moonlight Nocturne, is probably one of the best additions to the Fanged Beast family because of its more werewolf-like appearance. And you guys know I just love werewolves. But today we're going to discuss the ecology of this creature and actually see where it kind of fits on the food chain, honestly. It may, in fact, be a ecological need, honestly. So let's talk about it here. And the prehistoric predator I could really compare this to is the dire wolf. And more or less, I would have to say it has to belong in the more or less in the Pleistocene era, obviously, but I think in the more of the American I guess predator relationship, the triple chain of predators, where you have the dire wolves, the Smilodon, and you have Arctodus. Now, it's very simple to say this because it actually does have that Arctic background. And now with the introduction of the likes of Gauss Harang and everyone's well-known Barioth, who has been the saber-tooth of the franchise for a while, it actually feels good to have that kind of, that triple predator threat, if you will. And in all honesty, this may even put it, above a couple other predators in the old world. Now, the Arctic definitely has displayed itself as a very dangerous environment with the abundance of predators there and the abundance of prey-like animals that are still very aggressive. For example, you have Barioth, who's at the top of the food chain there, and then you have Gauss Harang now, who's also a mainstay Arctic predator, Fulgor Anjanath, and, well, Tidal Najarala. And Lunagaron now adds itself into this fray as sort of that wolf-like predator. That predator that's kind of needed if you think about it, right? With the lack of, primates fanged beast, I should say, in the Arctic region here, other than Rajang, but, Rajang's not a normal residence. I do have to say here that Lunagaron may fit that ecological niche here. But today we're really going to talk about why he actually fits this certain category. And it's very possible that maybe being a pack hunter or being a pack-related animal, isn't really so bad overall. I mean, this thing does share the territory with Gauss Harang, who is the Arctodus of the... should be the Arctodus of the region. But I digress here. Let's really talk about every reason why Lunagaron is actually pretty important to the Arctic lifestyle. Let's start off with its claws, right? These claws are very, very dangerous. They're very, let's see, what's the word I'm looking for here? They're very adaptable, These claws, as you can see here, have these barbs at the underneath them, right? And this means that Lunagaron needs them for traction, much like Barioth's own claws and Odogaron's claws as well. They're made for traction. They're made for outmaneuvering and outcompeting certain, prey items, okay? Prey that can run on ice and slip and fall. Lunagaron will be able to take advantage of it and not slip and fall here. We also know it has a cryosac due to its, ice-like abilities, and it seems to be able to use this in hunts as well, being able to blind its prey with a frost-like mist to where it can't move, and then hit it with the good old I gotcha maneuver. It also uses this to form its ice armor, which actually helps it out a bit, and I will get into that very later on. But now, let's go into its lifestyle. Lunagaron actually seems to live the same life as regular and dire wolves, with both the male and the female raising the pups in their own, way. It's very possible that these guys also have pack-orientated behavior, with the main male being the father and the mother being the beta, and the rest being the wolves' children. So this lifestyle actually benefits the Lunagaron in multiple ways here, and maybe the Lunagarons we see are ones that simply haven't found mates yet in the game. So this means that Lunagaron actually lives pretty much like a wolf's lifestyle. But what does Lunagaron eat, right? Now, in its intro, we can easily tell it'll eat Acnosom. This is pretty interesting and pretty important because Acnosom does visit the colder regions very frequently to prey on smaller invertebrates. It's very possible that he eats fish, baby zamites as well, and any Arctic insects that are pretty much there, and maybe even smaller monsters like the baggy or the Izuchi. So yeah, Aknosom definitely is a prey item here. It's pretty much confirmed in the first time we actually see Lunagaron after you beat Diamond Hermiter. It's very possible that Lunagaron will also eat a Diamond Hermiter as well, although it may not have the bite force to really break through its thick shell very quickly, and it would probably, risk confrontation with predators, probably going for that. Another prey item, I think, is the Somnicants. Now, word being Somnicants. This means it's both regular Somnicanth and Aurora Somnicanth, which I would have to say would be a very good meal for the Lunagarons. I don't really see why it wouldn't be. The Lunagarons themselves are, very capable, okay? And they are predators nonetheless. I mean, these guys are small prey specialists. These Somnicants are small prey specialists. And they wouldn't have the necessary tools to really fight against or even take down a Lunagaron. They might be able to use its sleep odor and then get away, or maybe using its frost odor to temporarily block off Lunagaron. But again, Lunagaron's cryosac would make it immune to ice blight. So there's really honestly, there's no if, and, or buts about it. It would pretty much be immune to ice blight. Somnicanth itself here also is a resident of the cold regions as well. Kind of more residents of water regions, but we do know Somnicanth as a animal that kind of just stays in the these Arctic regions as well. So the Frost Islands as well. So this means Somnicanth would easily be a prey item that Lunagaron would pretty much go for on the regular. Another creature I would have to say is easily and obviously Tetranodon. Tetranodon is pretty much found in Arctic regions pretty commonly now. But I do have to say it's probably a 50-50. While a Lunagaron by itself would pretty much be overkill and Pax would absolutely be a manslaughter here, it's very simply that Lunagaron may not even go after Tetranodon. You might say, well, wouldn't Tetranodon maybe snack up a young Lunagaron pup if it had the opportunity? Yes, it would, and this would mean that Tetranodon would be a threat to their life, and then they would probably just eat after because it's extra nutrition. But I do think that it would mainly belong to its rival, or at least its competition, the Gauss Harang, who pretty much specialize in slow-moving prey. And I do think that Gauss Harang may actually have a particular, ecological niche with Tetranodon, or basically large, bulky prey, simply because I just feel like Gauss Harang, in its turf war, is not only beating, Tetranodon senselessly, but it's actually a form of predation. It actually beats down the Tetranodon, and then it may go for its Ice Blade right after, finishing it off. Now, speaking of competition or predator competitors, we have Gauss Harang. Obviously, I just feel like Gauss Harang may even scavenge off some kills or maybe even bully Lunagaron packs away from their kills. You might say, well, isn't Lunagaron Elder Dragon level? Yes, but we also have to remember that term is kind of loose. Being able to fight against an Elder Dragon, it doesn't really make you flagship Elder Dragon level. If you guys get what I mean. It's just that the flagship Elder Dragons are kind of the main top tier predators, all right? Next off we have is an ogre. This is due to Lunagaron's more invasive nature, and I do think him and Zinogre probably pretty much fight each other on the regular. It's very possible that these are lone male Lunagaron pretty much wandering territories, pretty much just trying to navigate around, and Zinogre is just simply there, just doing its regular thing here. There's no real explanation to why these two actually have this kind of rivalry, but again, it is very common for two predators that may have commonly bumped into each other a lot to actually have these kind of territorial encounters. It's very possible it's simply a territorial and hunting ground dispute between the two, making sure that they have the resources so that they can benefit from it than other predators. Any predator coming into that territory is simply a threat. Now, this is where we enter the other category here. And this is where you have these Elder Dragon level threats, right? Both Garen Golem and Malzeno. Now, it does mean that Lunagaron is flagship Elder Dragon level, okay? Because again, like I said earlier, there's a very big difference between Elder Dragons and flagship Elder Dragons. They're just simply on a higher power level. Okay, they simply are. That's just where they are. And Garen Gollum is no exception here. I do think Garen Gollum is one of the few monsters that just got done very dirty by Sunbreak. Okay, it was supposed to be, it's one of the three lords and should be the physically strongest of the three lords, basically being above Elder Dragon, basically being stronger than an Elder Dragon, but it gets clowned on by Lunagaron a lot here. But that says more of a testament to Lunagaron's skill than Garen Gollum's, possibly being weak to ice as well. Garen Gollum is also a fungivore. Not too much of a carnivore, but is a fungivore. It's very possible that if any fungus grows on a rotting corpse, it's not going to hesitate to eat it. I mean, some animals and even some primates today do prefer a little meat in their diet. For example, baboons, some chimpanzees, okay? It's very possible even some gorillas do have a little bit of carnivory in them as well. So again, Garen Gollum be no exception. It's very possible that packs of Lunagaron may even gang up on a Garen Gollum to take it down as prey. But again, these are probably single male Garen Golems that are probably leading their families. We do have to remember Garen Gollum is also somewhat based off of a gorilla, a Frankenstein gorilla almost. You guys get the point. He was based off Frankenstein, but also a gorilla. This means that Lunagaron packs may even indulge in getting a fire and water blight showdown against a Lunagaron, with maybe even the lead male taking the role as basically the one that engages the turf war. So these Lunagaron are very capable of taking down even the strongest of the Garen Golems, possibly even males in their prime as well. But it's also very possible that in actuality, that a Garen Golem has killed a Lunagaron before. But on to the next rival, Barioth. Now, you guys know in every video I've said about Barioth, Barioth is just the tippity top of predators. It's a super predator in its own right, being able to prey upon the likes of Devil Joe and even having the fangs to pierce through a Tidal Nodula's hide. Probably not as deep, but just enough here. It's also known to prey upon monsters such as Legiana, even their, chicks as well. Barioth and Lunagaron may also still have that relationship between Sabertooths and dire wolves, meaning the more Lunagarons that pile on to a Barioth's kill, it's more likely Barioth will flee. But then again, if Barioth does have the advantage and does have a way to ambush a Lunagaron and make it a meal, it'll do it. But this leads us to the next part, and that's Malzeno. You see, Malzeno may not be a competitor. It's not a rivalry or, competition type thing with these predators. Malzeno may actually be Lunagaron's natural predator. Yes, they are the three lords, but again, it's very possible that Malzeno target Lunagaron and Garen Gollum directly. This is due to the fact that it shares it has an ecological rival with Geismagorn, with both of them being, dragons that'll drain the life force out of their opponents. And it's very possible that Malzeno may even target animals with higher bioenergy to basically drain them and use them to fuel itself for a fight against Geismagorn. It's also possible, and I will explain this in my Malzeno video, that this may have happened a while back and Malzeno and Geismagorn fought, but Geismagorn lost that fight due to Malzeno having enough bioenergy to surpass it. So overall, I do think that Lunagaron is a pretty top-notch predator. In my opinion, it does have its fair share of rivalries and probably even one predator. You might say, what about Velkhana now that he's in Sunbreak as well? Well, Velkhana's just probably the elder dragon of that region. It's very possible that Lunagaron packs may gang up to probably try and take down a Velkhana and might even succeed on a couple of occasions. We also have to remember here that it's very possible for, these wyverns to actually take down elder dragons. I mean, elder dragon level is really, it's really that tier for a reason. Even monsters like Barioth are capable of taking down Elder Dragon level creatures successfully. It has a high success rate in doing it. Devil Joe and even monsters possibly like Gammoth as well, when it's in its Elder Frost state, is capable of taking down an Elder Dragon. It's known for fighting off Eucanloses in Elder Frost, so it's not impossible. But when it's all said and done here, I do like Lunagaron. I really wish Odogaron was in Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, so that we could have this epic, flashy, speedy showdown between the two. But overall, I do have to say that Lunagaron has a very solid life and definitely fills the role of the dire wolf. A predator that you need to kind of keep, others on their toes, if you will. But anyway, that's going to be all for today, you guys. Please comment down below, like, and subscribe, and share with your friends. And I'll see you guys for the next video.